Welcome to Outlaw Nation here on the Shady Sports Network. I'm your host, Stephen Foster.
Thank you to this episode's sponsor, TDS Fiber. At TDS Fiber, our fiber internet gives you more when you need it most. Visit us at tdsfiber.com to see where our fiber internet will take you today. Once again, thank you to TDS Fiber for sponsoring the Billings Outlaws and this episode of Outlaw Nation.
Hello, Omaha Beef fans. I am your host, Matt Patten, and this is the Prime Cuts of Omaha Beef podcast right here on the Shady Sports Network. Awesome. This is going to be a great episode. Before we dive into some previews for the game, why don't you tell our fans how you're connected to the Billings Outlaws?
Well, Matt, like you had mentioned, I'm a sponsor. I jumped on board last year as a sponsor, kind of really got introduced to arena football last year. Being a sponsor, being front row, I had a party box is what they call it around the field. So I got to experience it front and center, and I really just kind of fell in love with it. So this year jumped on board again as a sponsor. And then as the year progressed, I had the opportunity to host the podcast for the Billings Outlaws, the Outlaw Nation podcast. So I've just been having a blast doing that as well. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy hosting this Prime Cuts podcast and getting to know some of these players and just bringing that to the Omaha Beef fans. So, yeah, I'm glad you could be here tonight.
Thank you.
Friday night, your Billings Outlaws travel to the Slaughterhouse to take on the Omaha Beef in the 2023 Champions Indoor Football Opener for both teams. Tonight, we want to collaborate together and kind of give our fans a preview of that game. So what do you say we dive into it?
I'm so excited for this game. I mean, I would love to talk more about it.
It's going to be awesome. So let's start out and let's talk about three offensive players that our fans can be looking out for. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about three players to watch for the Billings Outlaws offense?
Well, for one, I want to talk about my starting quarterback, Vincent Espinoza. I think he's tall, he's athletic, he's fast, he's dual threat. I think he's definitely going to be something to watch. I like RJ Cadell at wide receiver. He's also very tall, very fast. Had him on my podcast the other night, and he was, talking about how, quick he is and how much he's got to prove. So I'm really excited to watch him this year. And then those big boys up front. I mean, I got a couple of offensive linemen, Kenneth Williams, Elijah Lipscomb, some big fellers up front that I'm really excited and can't wait to watch.
Yeah, one thing that I know about Billings that I remember from last year is Billings was always tough. They have a lot of hard-nosed guys that are just out there playing the game, and they play the game the right way. That's what I remember about Billings from last year. So I'm really looking forward to watching those players in this game on Friday night as well. I'm going to go a lot of the same way that you went with the Omaha Beef. Obviously it starts and ends with quarterback Tommy Armstrong. They signed him right before our game last week against the Omaha Stockmen. Made a big spectacle of it. And, he's known for his time with the Nebraska Danger, where he, was quite impressive. And then also some time that he spent with the Sioux Falls Storm. In 2019, I believe he led the IFL in rushing. So that's a unique situation in that he was a quarterback who led the whole league in rushing. So it'll be interesting to see how he can use both his arm and his legs in the indoor game. Again, see, if he can continue where he left off last week against the Stockmen. And then, again, like you mentioned, offensive line. Our offensive line is a staple of the Omaha Beef. We've always had some really, really good offensive linemen. And that, again, for our group starts with Reggie Patrick. He's been with the Beef for several seasons, coming back again this year. I love his heart. He's got so much heart, and you can see the passion that he plays with. He wears it on his sleeve, and he's the absolute epitome of what we love in Omaha, Nebraska for our offensive linemen. And then last but not least is wide receiver Devonair Cunliffe. He's a rookie this year, but, he's very impressive. He played in 2021 in college, and he caught 61 passes for 1,070 yards and had 12 touchdowns. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do this season for the Omaha Beef.
For sure. I'm definitely excited to see your guys' quarterback. I'm actually kind of, as a fan, really kind of happy that we're going to see him week 1 when he's got just a little bit of a time under his belt versus what he's going to look like at that second matchup in Billings.
Yeah, I certainly hope that he doesn't have too much rust on him from, taking a little bit of time away from the game. But, that remains to be seen. He did some pretty impressive things in his time in the IFL. So I'm looking forward to watching him play in the orange and black this season. So, Stephen, what do you say we switch over to the defensive side of the ball and talk about a few key players for both teams on the defense?
I am definitely excited about the Billings Outlaws defense in 2023. Got a lot of returning players from last year to this year. The number one guy on my list is Denarius Antoine. He's just an absolute beast in the middle of that defense. And if need be, he can actually fill in at running back too. So I seen him do it last year, play both ways. Absolutely talented man. Eddie Hamilton, one of my favorites. He actually works for me as well. So I just really want to kind of give him a quick shout out if we can. He just had a baby girl last night, him and his fiance, Tessa. So shout out to Eddie and Tessa. They had a beautiful baby girl last night. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Eddie Hamilton and his girlfriend. Eddie's one of my favorite people from his time when he played with the Beef. So yeah, definitely.
When you talk about beautiful people with beautiful souls, Eddie Hamilton fits that narrative for sure. And then last on my list for defense would be like somebody like Dana Shoulders Jr. I'm really excited to see him in the blue and black this year.
Yeah, definitely. And Shoulders, playing a little bit of time with the Beef last season, got to see him. Very impressive young man, very humble young man as well. But he plays with his heart, plays really well, plays hard. He comes off that edge like nobody else. So he's going to be fun to watch. And Eddie Hamilton, what can I say about that guy? The season that he played for the Omaha Beef when we won the championship, he was so much fun to watch with some of those other guys on that defensive line. It was amazing. And I remember watching Antoine play last year. That guy, if I remember correctly, gave us fits on the offense last year. So, yeah, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with again this year in the league. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to watching. For the Omaha Beef, again, it's going to start with some veteran players for me. We've got defensive back Chris Perry, who the fans here in Omaha affectionately call CP3, or I guess I call him CP3. I told him he should try to trademark that, but I think there's kind of another famous guy that might already have that, right? But, Chris, he's been with the Beef for several years now. He's been with them for so long, I don't even remember when he started playing for us. But he's always at the forefront of what we do defensively. He's got some speed. He can really find that football, and he has a knack for being where the football is. And he's a bit of a smaller guy, but don't let his size fool you. I'm sure you remember watching Chris play last year a little bit, Stephen.
Oh yeah.
Number 3, hard hitter, great defensive back. And then alongside him on the other side, Trey Dudley Giles. Again, I can't say enough good things about Trey and just how good he is as a defensive back and the things that he can do on the field that just amaze me every single week. We've got some serious ball hawks in our secondary, and it's going to be interesting to see if your quarterback can, maneuver around those ball hawks and not turn the ball over too much against our defense. And then we've got a newcomer this year to the Beef, Jayshawn Washington, a defensive end out of Southern Mississippi, played in 2021 with the Louisville Extreme. I'm just excited to see him continue to grow as a player this season and really, become a standout, hopefully, on that defensive line for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a super exciting game. I cannot wait. I was asking somebody on my show a couple weeks ago what they thought the biggest rivalry was in the CIF. And I mean, I've only been a fan a short time, but in the short time, it seems like you circle the Omaha Beef on the calendar when you're getting ready to go play them. So I really enjoy the rivalry between the Beef. I think it's definitely the toughest one that we have. We split last year, 1-1, and it was weird that we were able to beat you guys in Omaha, and you guys come to Billings and beat us. But I'm just really looking forward to it. It's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, and that's why I legitimately think that this game is going to be a good one. I mean, the CIF, say what you will about, some people like it, some people don't, but every week anyone can step up and beat anyone else, and I think it's going to be a really fun season. It's going to start out with this one for both of our franchises. What do you think? Let's talk about maybe some keys to victory for each of our teams, if you don't mind.
Well, keys to victory for us are going to be, like Coach Lachlan say, they're going to execute. They're going to have the fundamentals down. They're going to play smart. They're going to play fast. We haven't really had a preseason. We didn't get to beat up on a junior ranked team or anything like that. We didn't get to put 60 up on anybody, but so unfortunately for us, when we go to play the Omaha Beef, if they can overcome the physicality of it all, I think they're going to be in a good shot to win.
Yeah, and that actually could be a little bit to your guys' advantage. I mean, you won't have that'll be the first time that the guys have hit someone with a different colored jersey on. So, I mean, it might be to their benefit, but who knows? I don't really know. I think either way for the Beef, I think obviously it's, in any game of football, it's, limiting turnovers and causing the other team to turn the ball over more. I think it's, having a balanced offense, and then, being able to do the things that we do defensively to make sure that, we stay in the ball game and we're able to walk out with that victory on Friday night. So I think it's pretty simple for the Beef and the keys to victory. So
I can't wait to be in that environment, to be honest with you. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and for someone like you who may not have ever been there before, it's going to be great. I mean, for the Billings fans that might see this, I encourage you, if you can make that trip, to come on out. You're going to hear an environment that's nothing like anywhere else in indoor football. It's the cowbells, the fans, the atmosphere. It's one in a million. And honestly, I look forward to every single game. I absolutely cannot wait. And I look forward to seeing the Outlaws, and hopefully we'll see you there, Stephen.
I will definitely be there. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining us tonight on the Prime Cuts of Omaha Beef podcast, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Absolutely. Good luck to you guys.
Same to you.